Hello, so this is how you can use queue management to help you with ISO compliance. So first you're going to do is just import all of your employees. Once you have that, you can go over here and create an article. So let's say this article is what is ISO 9001. So you can just paste it right in there with all the data. You can even include videos or images. And then the next thing you would do is you would assign it to the division. So if this is relevant to everyone, you would assign it to all of the employee divisions or maybe to only some, depending. You can choose to make it public, meaning accessible to people who aren't users in the software or not. You can give it a category. So you can have an ISO category. You can create one really easily and set it up like that. You can also have tags to make it more searchable. You can record video if you want, because you can also use this for any sort of training or hatting, as could be required. Upload files, etc. And you can also do a challenge. So let's say you want a signature for someone to fill this out, or you could also do a question and answer where they have to answer a multiple choice question correctly. So then we're going to go to publish it. So automatically this is created. We also see over here the data was created, and this is the first version of it. So if I were an employee and I was going to view this, I would see here I could sign it. You can also choose to have them not sign it and just press the button, up to you. And so now it's recorded over here that this person has read it. You can even view and see that they have signed it. So now if I go over later and this has to, it's the next year, this needs to be updated, I could, replace that. And then I could save it to draft if I'm not ready, or I can publish it. So when I publish it, you can see that there's been an update after that first version. And I can also view that version if I want to. So now that it's been updated, all of the employees who were assigned it before or who have read it, they're going to get an email saying, hey, there's this policy has been updated. And when they go through, they can then go and now sign and read the new version. Of course, if you have a challenge, they would just re-answer that challenge or that new challenge, or just press the button. So now you can see it's been read after that update. I can also view all if I want to see the full spread. So if I had lots of employees in here, you can see this view all would be a little bit more complicated, but for audit purposes can be very valuable. So this is all created automatically. I can also click here and see which employees have and haven't read this yet, so I can then hunt them down or track them. But this is generated. So now I can go over to the employee's profile. At the bottom here, I can see all the policies that they've read. So what is ISO 9001? I could then print this out. Just takes a moment to open up. There we go. So now this has been generated. Obviously that video didn't render, but you can see that this person has read it. It's a certificate of acknowledgement for that person. Showing you on a different one. So you can see on the bottom here that this person has read, acknowledged, and it has the date that they did it. It has the version that they had signed. And so this keeps track of everything. And if you ever need to show this for auditing purposes, very, very easy in that. Another thing that you could use for ISO compliance is on each employee, you can also record their responsibilities. So if you have all of your employees, you can create this chart. You can just add any new responsibility. And that way, when you have different people who are entering your area, you can easily just move these things over to them. Okay, now you're in charge of this. Now you're in charge of that. If someone gets fired, you can migrate all of their tasks. Employees can add their own tasks, or you can add them for them. But this way also you're recording what everyone is supposed to do and how to do it. You can also put in here a link to the knowledge base article further explaining that job. The last thing that you could do, not everyone would have need for this, but you can also build these checklists. It can take a little bit more time to build these, but for instance, this is when you get let's say a new shipment in. So you can start this writing form. You can also see all the ones that you've already created. This is for like SOPs that have an exact method. So here someone could start this. So I would go and click through here. Next time the shipment will be in, put the data in there. It records the data over here. And then when I finish this last one, it asks me to assign it. So what it's going to do is it's going to look at, it's assigned to this next position. So it's going to look at everyone who's in that position or in that division, depending on what you select down here. And then I can select them. They'll get an email. Then they'll be able to continue that checklist. So, for any process that needs to be recorded in that way, you can record it that way. But the main feature here for simplifying that is just this knowledge base here. So you can also set these as public articles. So if you have some that you want to have access, this is a public URL. No one needs to log in, but they would still be able to mark read all of those policies and articles. So it's pretty easy. It can save you a lot of time on that compliance, and I hope you give it a shot.